Alrighty, I'm back. Alright. So close this. Let's just make this faster by doing this. Okay. Why? Why don't we need to set these like consts? Why don't we need to use const or let here? Do you know?
You mean yeah, I didn't notice that. Yeah, it takes it without any using the keyword.
It's probably because React has state already set.
Probably that state is a standard keyword for React.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, we can
If you
ask
do
it.
state one, try this. If you do state one, what happens?
Um, so it's compiled with warnings. Nothing. Hello world is defined but never used. But yeah, it's not giving us any warnings. That's weird.
Probably it's not complaining because we're not using it anywhere, I guess. That's
Maybe.
why.
It's probably
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we'll worry about that later.
Yeah.
So count should be 0 now.
When the component mounts, register an interval that adds one to the count in every one to the count in state every second.
So I think you have to use
Set state this dot set state count. And we set it to this dot state count. every second.
So probably, so it suggested you use this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me send you through. So we have to.
Okay, I see it. I found it.
So you have to basically set the interval. Yeah. Now, hold on. Probably you may have to increment the counter inside that function. So that means this dot state dot count plus
So then,
this dot set state.
yeah. So
Let's complain.
well, it's complaining about const can only be used in a .ts. So I guess you don't have to make. You don't have. But this.
You don't have to declare it.
Are you look? What? Where are you getting your information from? I'm looking at var interval ID Windows set my callback.
I'm looking at the checkpoint 9. It gives us the link to in drill 2.
Yeah, I see it. Okay.
Create an interval link, and I'm taking reference of that.
That's exactly what I'm doing too. Okay, so here's I see how to do it. Cool. So shit. I'll cut this out for a second. Just in case we need that. Set interval. Now we need our anonymous function. Instead of logging it, we want to actually set it to that.
We actually want to set the property count.
So,
Just the set state.
can we do it? Okay, now our syntax is getting all crazy. This does set
State count.
Alright, so let's now trying to combine these little.
So I think we can do this dot set state and then count colon.
So count
Colon this dot probably this dot state dot count plus 1.
Let's try this. Oop. Comment that shit out. Okay.
Probably you may have to do +1 on line 11 because we're incrementing counter every 1 second.
So do we need this 1,000 anymore?
Because this is actually an interval. We're setting an interval of 1000 millisecond. That means 1 second.
Okay.
So on the component mount, it will start this basically a timer which increments count every 1 second.
Okay, and so to go 1,001, 2, 3, or will it go 1,000, 2,000, 3,000?
Yeah, let's do
See,
this. Let's put a console log on after that. After
after
that,
here,
yeah. Let's do console log this dot count this dot state dot count and see what it does. Okay. So are we using? Probably we may have to use that component for it to trigger, I guess.
I set it up already.
Oh, you already set it up. Okay, that's fine.
It console logs 0.
That's it.
Yeah. So far, that's all it's doing is console logging 0, but it's not re-updating. See. So let me take a look at this doc really quick.
Try refreshing the page and what happens. See if you see anything entered on the console, or it doesn't matter. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. We're missing something here. The component register adds one to counting state every second. Counting state every second.
There we go. Okay.
Hmm. So, oh, probably we're logging at a different place. Yes. Probably you may have to do the console.log inside that set interval function. Yeah, console.log this.state.count.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's what it,
So he's asking for a status check.
yeah. So we're on drill 2 right now.
Let's say we're on drill 2.
So do the next section as the unmount where you have to clear the interval.
Say that again. Do the unmount where you clear it.
Yes, it says that on the unmount it should clear the interval.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, I got you. Okay, I see what you're saying. Is component unmount, is that on the bottom? Do we do that on the bottom, or do we do that after render, or do we do that before render?
yeah, I don't know.
Component will unmount. Seems like it comes after, because the component life cycle is
Probably it will come after the render.
constructor, render, did mount, will mount. So it may not matter.
Yeah, it shouldn't. Probably it should not matter.
Yeah, so let's just do it.
Component.
Component will unmount.
Hold on. Probably.
Yeah, we don't really know what it's.
Probably what happens is when you on the line 8 when you call this set interval,
Mm-hmm.
it will actually return you the value. Um,
Okay, so it's not re-rendering after it returns that value. Is what you're saying?
no. What I'm talking about is when you do the clear interval, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to pass the interval value to it, which actually is coming from the return, which is actually returned by this set interval function.
Okay, so it's bringing return. Yeah. Okay, because of the ES6.
So if I understand it correctly,
We need that constructor thing.
we may have to store the value coming from this set interval function on some variable or something like that, because we need that value to use this um, use the function clear interval.
Okay.
So according to the docs here, what it says is, let me share my screen. I can explain that.
Okay.
Okay, so the document says, hold on. So the set interval method offered on the Windows Worker interface repeatedly calls the function or execute a code snippet.
Hmm.
That's done. So it returns an interval ID which uniquely identifies the interval. So you can remove it later by calling call interval,
Clear
clear
interval.
interval.
Hmm.
So we have to grab that ID which is actually returned by this function. Um, so so we probably we need that to pass in when we use this function here, clear interval. So we need this value um, which is coming back from this set interval to be
Now
stored
this is
somewhere.
this is vanilla JS, right? That MDM docs is referring to, right?
Yes,
Okay.
but the function we are actually using is actually
Is
this is a
vanilla
JavaScript function.
JavaScript. Hmm.
This is
Okay.
not specific to React, so this is basically a general JavaScript function, basically.
Okay.
So we need to figure out how we're going to store that.
Oh, I see. I see exactly. You're perfectly correct. So
Yeah,
there's the.
probably we need another property on the state object because this I think this interval is not defined.
Well, if I'll show you what I'm looking at right now. You can tell me. So it says it's setting this dot interval equal to the return value of
Oh, okay.
that, and then it's putting it here. So it's doing exactly what you're saying we should do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way the variable is defined is a little is a little
Yeah,
different
it's
than
a
what we're
bit
used to
different.
seeing. But
Mm.
I think it's working now. My question is, do we need this constructor function that takes props and then you pass super props to it? This dot state equal to, then maybe we do it that way. Let me just.
Yeah, this is interesting. We don't even have to declare that variable. Uh, so you're trying to use the constructor.
Yeah, but I think the reason that they use this constructor is because they have date time, new date. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what grabs it. But
So what is super function doing on the line 5? Is that a part of the syntax?
it is, yeah, super. You have to have super um, it has to be past something. It says uh, if you just have the constructor and you don't pass it to the super, it says it will throw an unpleasant looking error. Reference error. This hasn't been initialized. Super hasn't been
Mm,
called. And it says this is because the constructor is used by React internals when components are created. And
mm.
constructors are a lifecycle method. So mm, my question,
Okay.
I guess we can call Josh and see like, do we need this constructor, or get a little bit more detail on what this constructor means? Does it just
Mm-hmm.
mean, let's see, to
Yeah.
get started, here's a basic counter component that's got count state button is a function. Constructor bind. Yeah, the first approach is to bind the handle button click method. Arrow function. Right, yeah, let's just go on. So it's still working. It's going.
Mm.
I don't think I saved. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's still going. Okay. So we want a paragraph to display depending on um,
Depending on the value of the count. So, so we can do the comparison inside that, I think. Hold on. Inside the paragraph tag, JSX will allow us to do that, right?
yeah. hmm So do you think we need more properties in our state, like more than just count?
Mm,
Like P that contains the content of either TikTok. Oh well, no, we can do if whatever.
yeah, we can do that inside the paragraph tag, right?
Yeah.
So we can do if so let's see. Let me-
If this dot interval.
So if this dot we count this dot yeah this dot state dot count. So modulus operator to So after modulus, that should be 2. Modulus 2 equals to 0. That means it is exactly divisible by 2.
It's yelling at us. Let's see what's here. Expression expected. Oh yeah.
So we need to display tick.
Yeah. Expression.
Is it complaining or something?
It says expression is expected. I guess once we put in here, it'll fix it. So, say it.
So
So what?
we need to display tick.
Yeah, tick. Right?
Does it has to be?
I guess it's a paragraph,
Probably
so
it will take care of it. Oh, it's still the if statement is still complaining on line 26.
yeah. It's not a
Um,
function. It's return.
yeah, it's not a function, so probably
Yeah. So the question is writing the logic.
I think probably what we can do is create a separate function
Okay.
and use that function to return the text basically based off of the count value. Can't we do that? Display, display text. Yeah. So we can do this. It doesn't. You don't need the keyword, I guess, right?
Yeah, you don't need keywords.
So, so do if this dot state dot count modulus 2 equals to 0, then do return tick. So do next in the next line else if so in this case that the count should be less than 8 and this dot state dot count modulo 2 is not equal to 0. Is not equal to 0. Yeah. So in this case, it should display talk TOCK. Else return boom. Okay, so probably we may need to call this function on the yeah. So this dot display text.
We got to do it as a ES6, right?
Okay. This dot display text. Okay.
Field
Yeah, let's give it.
just
Okay.
parsing error on line 30.
30.
Oh,
Oh, why it's complaining?
unexpected token above
Which
data.
line it's complaining about?
It's complaining about this
Huh.
line. Because we're passing it this function. Oh,
Expected. Okay, so
function are not
this may
valid
have
as React child. This may happen if you return a component instead of.
where it's complaining component.
basically want to return a JSX here. So maybe, okay, maybe we just do, instead of having a P here, we put it inside the
Inside the div.
yeah. So we do P return paragraph tick. Functions are not valid as. Alright, so we can stop the fucking console log. Says functions are not valid as React child, but we're passing it as. Oh, so it's telling us that functions can be used as a child in React, but we've done that before.
Yeah.
Tips. So there's some tips down here. To check if a number is divisible by 2, use the modulo operator. An interval will repeatedly invoke a callback as often as specified by the milliseconds argument. You can create an interval by using let interval equal set interval callback time in MS. You can clear an interval by using clear interval. That's fine. We have our interval working. Yeah, we need.
Try calling the function directly instead of doing the opening and closing with the arrow, because since it's not an event handler, which should not.
You're the man.
Tick tock, tick tock.
Because she can boobs. There it is. Oh man, cool. So what was the issue? It was because it wasn't an event handler. We only use that when rendering an event.
Probably it seems like that. I'm still not
Super clear on it, yeah.
super confident on that. I don't know what's the concept behind it.
Whatever. We're almost done. Let's keep it moving.
So we need to move on to the next one, I guess.
Yep. My computer will stop being a weird touch. Source. State. Trails. Okay. Update index.js to use roulette gun component to check that it works. Oh, I forgot the play.js. We actually are doing it in here. Whatever. Okay. The component should render a div. What the hell is that? Come on. Inside the div, there should be a P that contains the content of either spinning the chamber and pulling the trigger. ... You're safe. Bang. Inside the div, there should also be a button. So is it saying, does it want 3 different P's? Or are they going to update? I'm assuming they update.
Yeah, probably not. Uh,
We'll do this just so we can visualize it. Okay, so inside the div, there should also be a button that contains pull the trigger. Let's make sure everything is rendering. Render method should have a return statement. Oh shit, I forgot the most important part. The component will have an initial state.
yeah, let me do state. So it should have a property called chambers here. Chamber. And the spinning the chamber set to false.
The component will accept a prop called bullet in the chamber that has a default value of 8. The component will accept a prop called bullet in chamber that has a default value of 8. So the component itself
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. So we're in drill 3 right now.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Um, so
Uh, yeah, just chugging along. We figured out the problem we were having last time.
Great.
So now we're just working on this third drill.
Did you have a question? I thought you'd asked.
Yeah, we did. We figured it out. It didn't update. Sorry, it didn't update you on that one.
Awesome. No problem. Okay, cool. Well, great work today. You guys are cruising along.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'll
thanks.
see
Bye.
you in a couple of days.
See
Okay,
ya.
thanks. Bye.
All right. How long you got left?
Probably 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay. I will set a timer for 5 minutes, and if we don't get it done, we'll.
Yeah, we can work on it independently if we can't make it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll post it to GitHub.
yeah, yeah. This requires some time. We need to spend some time on this because this seems to be.
Okay. It says the state should update spinning in the chamber to be true. This is correct, right? It's updating. We probably.
Yeah, that should be under the handle click for the button. That's fine. Um, but
We don't want to mutate it though. So this is where we would need the dot dot dots, right?
to avoid the mutation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
This dot set state, and then we pass it in the object with the triple dot, this dot state dot object key. Then we set the value. This right here.
yeah, probably that's a good way to do it.
So
This dot set state. So this dot set state inside that.
we have this dot set state. So now we have to set it. Where are you? This dot set state. Then we take the
It's actually
object.
so in our case that's the new whatever object you created
Initial state.
initial state. Mm,
And then this dot state dot object, comma. Wait. Yep.
state dot initial state.
Is it this dot initial state, right?
Uh, no, I think that's this dot state dot initial object
Like
initial state.
like that?
Yes. Uh, probably put a three dots up front, I guess.
The three dots come after because it's two. It's taken two property or two parameters. It takes this dot state dot object, then there's a comma, right? And then the key set to whatever we want it to be. So Oh, we do need it 3 days. Yeah, I'm stupid.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. You're right. So
Now,
spinning
in
the
our,
chamber.
in our case, spinning the chamber should be set to true. And what's the other one?
That's just for deleting on the other one.
Oh, okay, on button click. That should be a click event handle. A timeout should be registered for 2 seconds.
So that's referring to this, right? Set interval.
Probably. Hold on, let me see. Create a timeout.
Five minutes are up.
Yeah. So we'll handle it independently. So
Yeah, let me just make a Git.
I think I can close the session for today.
Yeah, let me push this to GitHub. I'll put it up on the Thinkful code name, blah blah blah.
Okay, you can Slack me the URL.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, man.
See you, buddy. What do you do with the op-ed? You folly, you Holland Dolly stuff, you weed.